Hey friends, in this video I'm going to be explaining the message of each and every song from my album I created in 2024 called Knife Puller. So, number one, the actual song Knife Puller. I come in and break your teeth. Oh, stop! I'm breaking your teeth. 'Cause you know you don't need that money more. You're not cooler. What inspired me to write this song is in middle school I had this friend who was somewhat a bad kid, and he one time did something that kind of pissed me off, so I got pretty annoyed at that, and a few days later I saw him in the cafeteria eating a school burrito, and the way he was indulging in it, it looked like he was really enjoying it, but I was kind of surprised because usually the foods they serve at my school is pretty low quality, so I was thinking, why the hell is he enjoying eating that low quality shit so much? I see you chomping down on that burrito, but you should not like it, cause it's some school food. And long story short, a few weeks later, he decided to pull a knife on a kid at school and ended up getting suspended, so... And I know this is hard to explain, but what I'm basically saying in my little song is it's very immoral of him to have pulled that knife on that kid, especially since he's already in some ways a bad kid, and I also found it funny that he was indulging on that really low quality school lunch, so I was like, hey, it looks like you're really enjoying eating this, but if I were to punish you by breaking your teeth, you wouldn't be able to enjoy any more food, so that's what you get for pulling a knife on that innocent kid.
Just let it be a damn royal. This will never be royal.
So basically, guys, that song you just heard is a cover of a cover, so the original guy who made that original cover has a YouTube channel known as Frog Leap Studios.
We are galloping around the field, and we'll never be royal. In a world in our blood, the kind of luck you take for us. We crave a different kind of ball. Let me be your ruler. You can call me Queen Bee. Let me be our ruler. Let me live that fantasy.
So basically, guys, just in case you don't know what the guy from Frog Leap Studios publishes, he basically turns regular songs into metal songs, and he that's what he publishes on his YouTube channel. But anyway, in my cover of that cover, I know it might sound like I'm basically screaming and shouting instead of singing, but I'm basically trying to copy that guy's way of singing, since he's trying to make a metal cover of that song, but usually when I'm shouting, I'm not too good at shouting and hitting notes at the same time, so I would say, I'm not gonna lie, but that Frog Leap Studio cover is probably 10 times higher quality than my cover, if you were to think about it as a metal cover, since that cover sounds a whole lot more like metal. Finally, another reason why I decided to make a cover of that cover is because when I made it, I wasn't too good at guitar, so I basically decided to try to learn the strumming pattern and the plucking pattern of that Frog Leap Studios cover to kind of practice guitar, and then for fun I decided to post it online.
Ha! Hold on, little girl. Show me what feels done to you. Stand up, little girl.
So the next song on the album is basically a cover of the song To Be With You by the band Mr. Big, and I basically decided to learn how to play that song on guitar and sing, cause that was another song where I decided to cover it so that I could, practice playing something on the guitar. And also, when I recorded that cover, this guy who also played guitar along with me, that guy you just saw, his stage name is Jason Jouleth.
You try to stay away from me, but I just know this and who you are. Cause you used to laugh at me so hard. Cause you just trying to play cool. You try to look okay, but your tears and your face give you away. Yeah, you just trying to play cool.
Now, I'd prefer not to say much about that last song you just heard, but let's just say I wrote a little power ballad.
I didn't even know how happy you made me until you go. And I would do anything for you, to be with you again. It's true. Give you all my time, oh, and do so much for you.
Now, while it may seem like that song you just heard is about a girl, it's actually about this really talented friend of mine who just decided to not hang out with me anymore when I did so many great things for him, including us putting our talents together and using them to do cool things. Now, I'm not gonna lie, guys, you might be wondering why that song says I would do anything for you to be with you again. Guys, I will admit that is kind of gay. But guess what, guys? I'm not gay, and besides, guys, I threw that lyric in there cause number one, I didn't know what I was thinking, and number two, it would just make it more dramatic to use that kind of lyric, especially since when people would hear that song, they probably would immediately assume that was probably about a girl, so using that lyric would kind of make the message of that song more dramatic.
I wasn't always this wealthy until my father gave me so many Big Macs, and I got so much nutrition, and I'm so delusional, so I think it's good for you, but I'm just lying through my teeth. But you know that I'm so wealthy, like the giant plane that crash landed with so much cash in it. Yeah, clean the cabin.
So that song you just heard wasn't just an ordinary song off my album, but it was from the show that my friends and I are making called Evil Technology, and you guys might have already seen that show on my YouTube channel, but anyway, if you see a video on my channel that says after explicit websites get exposed to underage children, Satan retaliates and kills powerful people. That video is basically a recap of season 1 of that show that my friend Michael P. and I are making, but long story short, so here's the context as to what was going on when that guy in the song started singing it. So basically, in season 1, just in case you didn't see the recap and didn't know about this, Donald Trump and Kim Jong-un are in the show, and basically Trump builds a giant robot that's supposed to look a lot like him, and he basically starts fighting these really powerful creatures with the robots, and in that song, he's basically bragging about how powerful his robot is, but he pays the price when those monsters basically destroy his robots and he loses the fights, so that was what was going on during that song, but anyway, guys, to make this funny comment that basically brings us back to that song I previously mentioned called Just Trying to Play Cool. That song was tedious as hell to write and record because I kept screwing up the guitar parts, but during one of the breaks I took writing that song when I was about to eat dinner, basically, long story short, the Trump-Harris debate was playing on TV, and basically I started watching the debate while I was eating, and it was pretty funny to take a break from that tedious process of making that video, and instead of making it, I was eating dinner and watching Donald Trump say some inarticulate shit like, "They're eating the dogs!"
That's so stupid, and besides, let me show you that severed head. But besides, I was born in the USA! Oh, I'm so happy, cause things are gonna go so... Hey, stop throwing hamburgers at me! Stop! Haha, guess what? Born in the USA! Born in the USA! Born in the USA! I'm a long-gun president from the USA! Born down in the hamburger town! The first lick I took was when I ate Big Macs! I went to Carl's Jr. and the food tasted so good! But
Okay, so that was basically the final song off the album, and besides, guys, so that was another song from Evil Technology, and what was happening during that episode where that song was playing was basically this character named Mr. T was giving this speech, and then he started bragging about how he severed the head of Donald Trump and then held up the head in front of the entire audience, and then they got so pissed off at him and then started throwing Big Macs at him, and that's basically kind of mockery to Donald Trump, because, that's his favorite meal, and, they started throwing burgers at the person who killed that guy who really loved Big Macs, and, what's even more funny about it is, Trump is so delusional and he thinks fast food is really good for you and for healthy food, let's just say, vice versa, but it's highly unusual for someone to be so delusional that they think fast food and junk food is very healthy for you. So, anyway, that was basically the entire recap of all the songs on the album. And a final message is, if you're basically, for those who are watching this video on TikTok, you should check out my YouTube channel, because I post a bunch of cool things on my channel, like That's Evil Technology show, and some more songs, and like, also, guys, like, basically, guys, what I usually post on my TikTok account is little samples, like, basically little samples of like, what I post on this YouTube channel, so that I can try to gain more popularity on my YouTube channel. Anyway, guys, peace out. I'll see you tomorrow for the next episode of Evil Technology.